So this advice isn't only relevant to young people, but it's sort of going to be aimed at young people. And the younger you are, the easier it will be to do this. But the thing that I want to talk about is, if you're like 18 or in your 20s, you should really be aiming towards your dreams in life, and you should be doing things that scare you, that will improve your character, and you're just doing things that are hard to do, like pushing your comfort zone. And the younger you are, the easier it will be to do this. And I kind of think the more important it is, because it will set up your life later in life to be a lot better. You'll be a lot happier with less regrets. You don't want regrets when you're older. You want to do the stuff that you want to do when you're young, when it's easier to do, before you get a family, before you're bogged down with responsibilities or kids or whatever, or you're just going to have less energy when you're older. But one of my favorite books is called The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. I would recommend that really anyone read this book, possibly women too, or you could read it. If you're in a couple, you could read it together. But in the beginning of the book, he was saying that a man needs to, even if you have a family and a full-time job already, you're super busy, every day you should dedicate at least an hour to working on, like a dream that you have or something. So like, this is an easy example. If you have a full-time normal job, maybe your dream is to own a business or have some other type of career. For at least an hour every single day, you should dedicate this time towards working on that. Like, do something towards this every single day. But when you're younger, before you have a full-time job and a family, you should be able to dedicate a lot of time into being able to do this. One of the things that inspired me to make this video was that I just made some massive changes in my life, things that were pretty scary and kind of crazy, that inspired me to do this. And the reason I did it was because it is moving me towards my dreams and my goals in life. So recently I'm in a different country right now. I'm living here. So I moved to a different country, in a country that speaks Spanish. So this is a second language to me. My Spanish is decent, but it's not that great. And in Dominican Republic, they are known for speaking like the fastest, craziest Spanish. So not only did I move to a country where they speak second language to me, but it is with like an accent that is basically one of the hardest to understand. Another thing I did was, when I moved here, I had a successful business that I liked. I completely quit that business, and I'm basically starting from scratch with online types of businesses right now. And another thing I did was I am trying to make part of the reason I moved to this specific place is because I met a girl here when I visited, and we're trying to curate like a very serious relationship, which is also something new and scary for me. And I'm doing all these things at once. And the reason is because a lot of these are just my dreams. I've wanted to travel more, live in a foreign country, at least for, a short while, since I was very, very young. I've wanted a girlfriend for a long time, and obviously making more money, but one of the reasons to accomplish this is I needed to figure out some sort of business that I could work online, so I could be able to travel or live wherever I want and move very, very easy. All these are major changes in my life. Not super, it was kind of easy to do because I really wanted it, but at the same time it's stressful, it's scary, it's very risky. I don't know the future, I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know if it's going to work out with this girl. I don't know if I'm going to blow through all my savings and have to go back to having a normal job. It's hard to talk to people here, to understand them. It's crazy, but this is something that I had to do. And I'm 36 years old now. And if I had done this stuff when I was younger, it would have been a lot easier. If I had worked on studying Spanish when I was much younger, if I had, instead of going to school or starting these jobs and businesses that were dependent on me being in a specific physical location and not being able to move, if I had from the start focused on making money or starting a business in a way that allowed me to travel. Or one thing I regret not doing when I was younger is just traveling very, very cheaply, like I was talking about before. So I have a friend who he specifically, he'll just look for the cheapest flights he can find, so like all over the place. And then usually he told me he'll look for people on couch surfing which I think is free. And he said it's great because when he does couch surfing, there'd be other people living there, so then you immediately have local friends that live there that take you out and you get to hang out with them. And he's doing this in places too where he doesn't speak the language that well. Like, he's telling me a lot of the time they're talking and can't really understand them. This stuff is crazy, but it's like he's doing what he wants to do. And like I was saying, the younger you are, the easier it's going to be to do this. Like, if your dream is to start a business, or I don't know, maybe your dream is some type of career, but your parents, they want you to be, I don't know, a doctor. Don't go to school to be a fucking doctor. You might regret that for the rest of your goddamn life. And another thing is, like maybe you don't know what your dream is, so maybe you're just going to school because like, oh, I don't really know what I want to do. My advice would be to just experiment with a ton of different things. There's a book, I think Robert Greenfield is the author's name. He talks about this. I forget the name of the book that he's most well known for, but the one that I actually liked more was the one, I think it's called The 50th Law, where he interviews 50 Cent and talks about him. I like that one more. But he talks about how he had like, I don't know, a ton of different jobs when he was younger. It was like some crazy number. And he said that he would recommend that young people do this so that you can figure out what you like. And that way you can figure out what maybe you want to do for the rest of your life. Because maybe you don't know what your dreams are. You need to experiment to be able to figure that stuff out. And when you're younger, you know, try not to like settle for less because it's comfortable. You need to push your comfort zone. You need to do things that scare you. Like maybe it scares you, you want to start your own business, but it scares you to go into the unknown. You know, when you're starting a thing from scratch, you don't have like guaranteed money coming in like when you have a job. So maybe you just need to go for it and just try it. Maybe you just need to quit your job and just use your savings. Just say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I just force myself to try to make the money this way. Just give it a go. The worst that can happen is you just run out of money and go back to a normal job again. And if you're very young, this is going to be easy to do. Like I was saying before, you have responsibilities and everything. Maybe instead of when you're young, instead of getting like a girlfriend because it's comfortable, you want a girlfriend, it can be a lot more beneficial, actually, at least from me as a guy's perspective, to date more women at first. Maybe you need to learn how to socialize better. Maybe you need to date some more women and not really have a girlfriend to be able to figure out what you actually want. I know this was something that I had to do. Like you might not know what type of person is ideal for you. You might not know. You're not going to know what kind of girl you want possibly until you actually date some different types of women. But the main reason you should do this is just so you do not have regrets in life. You can watch those videos. I know there's some people that they interview like much older people on YouTube that are popular, and they ask them like what regrets they have in life. I don't know. Watch those. See what advice they give. And when you're younger, do that stuff now. You know, don't waste your life. Don't waste your youth when you're young. You know, try to go outside when you're energetic. You need to develop like social skills. You need to have different types of jobs. You need to experiment. You need to do things that scare you. You need to do things that push your comfort zone so that later in life you don't have regrets, and that you build your character so it's strong when you're younger, so you're ready to have those responsibilities when you're older in life and you have less energy.